Just setting you up, Mike, for the big one here with Clemson, Ohio State, athletes all over the field, and two of the elite coaches and programs in the country.
Yeah, I mean, Clemson in this game, believe it or not, I'd like them to win as well. We're going for a clean ACC sweep here tonight, Mark, which doesn't look particularly good for my bias as an ACC writer. But I actually do like Clemson to win this game against Ohio State. And the reason why is because I think Clemson is just a better all-around football team than Ohio State. But when you look at this game, it's very interesting because Ohio State last year had a lot of troubles coming off of a national championship victory, right? They were arguably the most talented team in college football. They went to Blacksburg. They took care of the Hokies in the opener, but they really struggled throughout most of the season after that. They had an identity crisis at quarterback with Cardale Jones and JT Barrett, ultimately settle on Barrett late in the year. But by then it was kind of too late. Ohio State had already lost a couple games. They end up winning the Fiesta Bowl, and if that's going to be your down year, that's good for you, right? And Ohio State bounces back this year, and they've played great. Clemson's had something similar happen because they go to the college football playoff last year. They're able to get to a national title game. They go toe-to-toe with Alabama throughout most of that game. Really, if Alabama doesn't pull off that surprise onside kick, Clemson might win that game. And Clemson comes back this year. They're as talented as any group in the entire country. They have an offense that only got better with the addition of Mike Williams after his injury last year. He's back into the fold. He's healthy. He had a fantastic year for the Tigers. But it seemed like Clemson never really got going necessarily as well as they should have. And they're as talented as any team in the country. They're as talented as an Alabama. They can go toe-to-toe with them. We've seen it before. But for some reason, the defense this year just hasn't had all together at times. There are a couple games they played really close when considering the game at the beginning of the year against Auburn. They probably should have won that by more. You look at the Troy game that they struggled in a non-conference tilt. They ended up pulling away late, but that game wasn't easy. Clemson probably should have lost to NC State. They did lose in Death Valley at home, of course, to Pittsburgh a couple of weeks later. But I think Clemson's past that. They started playing very well towards the end of the year. The defense has still had its troubles. I think the key to this game, and this is where Clemson has struggled defensively, is stopping the run at times this year, believe it or not. JT Barrett's been so good at quarterback at Ohio State at running the football that I think he could cause a lot of problems for Clemson in this game if the Tigers aren't careful. But where I think the Tigers will have a chance is if they stop JT Barrett from running the football and they make him throw it deep down the field. That's where the struggles have been for JT Barrett this season. It's been the accuracy on the deep throws. And I think Clemson's going to find a way here with a month to prepare, stop Mike Weber, stop JT Barrett from running the football and force him to throw. I think if the Tigers are able to make Ohio State somewhat one-dimensional in this game, make JT Barrett put the ball in the air, I think you take your chances. And I think if that's the case and the Tigers are right in this thing, they're going to have a great chance to win it.
5 straight for the ACC to conclude bowl season, including the one that matters in the playoffs. So, Mike, if you're not getting full press box treatment and a plush place to sit in any ACC stadium, I don't know what you need to do to gain that kind of status.
Yeah, I mean, I've picked all the conference teams, so what more do I have to do, right? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think if there was one game I'd feel least confident about outside of the college football playoff game where really anything can happen between two great teams in Ohio State and Clemson, I think I probably feel least confident about the chances with LSU and Louisville and picking the Cardinals in that game just because there's so many different elements going on there, contrasting styles. You could say the same about the North Carolina-Stanford game, but North Carolina's offense has been so explosive. They haven't really been slowed down all year long, except for that game against Virginia Tech where they just refused to run the ball in the middle of a hurricane. So I like North Carolina's chances there, but I think the LSU-Louisville game could be a complete toss-up, but I really see a path to victory here for Louisville to win and win by about a touchdown if they just are able to run the football well with Radcliffe and then get Lamar Jackson loose and have him make some easy throws down the field. I think the Cardinals have a great chance to win that game as well. So those are the two kind of toss-up games in that regard outside of the college football playoff, but who knows? Anything can happen this time of year.